go on the road. All right, welcome to our regeneration class. I'm Coach Clint, and today we will be going through some nice movements to get you up, get you moving, make you feel refreshed and ready to go. We start with our tip of the day today. Our tip today is 7 tips for building new habits. Find your motivation. Habits are far more likely to succeed if they are based on intrinsic motivation rather than extrinsic motivation. Start small, be compassionate, not critical to yourself, right? To yourself, that's the hardest part of that. Enlist support. Find people with similar things they like to do, similar routines, stuff like that. That'll help you keep going. Be accountable to yourself and others. Set a regular schedule, which is really hard to do, but really helpful. And have a specific goal in mind with a target. And then you can always reach for that target. And that is the tips for building new habits. So that can be fitness, that could be sleep patterns, really anything that's a habit thing. Make sure that you use some of these tips to kind of help get you there, okay? And then thank you to Lucas. He actually traced and colored in our little guy today. Why doesn't a lobster share with his friends? Stick around to the end and you'll find out why a lobster will not share with his friends. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna get warmed up really quick, get you guys moving. So let's get down on the ground. We're gonna go into a single leg figure 4 position. So I'm gonna cross my leg over the top in this glute bridge position. Okay, I'm gonna use my hand to kind of pry down here, which is gonna open up this hip and my glute. And I'm gonna just drive up into a single leg glute bridge. So squeezing my glute, pressing down on that knee just a little bit. Notice I'm just using a couple fingers, relax down, drive back up. Let's do about 4 of these on each side. I'm gonna hold for a couple of breaths just so I get that really good stretch in this glute in the figure 4 side. Make sure you're breathing nice and easy. Now, if you would have, I don't know if any of you watched the pole vaulting last night, the decathlon, but a couple of the actual athletes there, relax down, switch sides, did this figure 4 stretch, which is kind of cool when you do a stretch that Olympians are doing, right? This is really good for opening up your hips, activating your glute. With them, it's all about being able to control their body within space, which is what injury prevention and regen is all about, is learning how to control our body. Go ahead and relax down. Got 2 more here. Drive up. Relax down. Good. 1 more. Press up. And down. Good. We're going to go ahead and go into a bird dog position. So a quad position. I'm going to go knees under my hips, hands under my shoulders. If you need to do a couple of cat cows to find that neutral spine, that's fine. Okay, but just make sure you find your center, squeeze your glute or squeeze your core a little bit, and we're going to lock in nice and tight. Okay, now we're going to do what's called a fire hydrant. Okay, and we're going to lift one leg out to the side. Notice I'm lifting my leg towards you guys. Okay, now it's pinching this glute on this side, and then I'm going to tuck it back in. Now I'm going to lift it up and then kick it back. Kick my water bottle over. Bring it back, kind of out to my elbow, and then back down. Okay, I'm going to turn and face you so you can kind of see it maybe a little bit better. We're going to open up, kick that leg back, bring it back in, and back down. Good. 1 more on this side. Kick it out, kick it back, bring it in, and down. Now I'm going to switch to the other leg. Same thing, open up. Now this side's going to be tighter on me. It's just my tight side. So I'm only opening as far as I can without hiking my hip towards the sky. I'm trying to keep my hip parallel to the floor. Kick that leg back. Bring that knee towards my elbow and down. Good. Notice my toe turns out as I come up here. My toe's pointing towards you. I kick that leg back. I'm still turning that toe out. And then I'm bringing that knee in. And as I come down, I turn that toe back down towards the ground. Good. One more. Open up. Press back. Oh, that's tight. Feels good though. Bring it in. And down. Nice work. All right. Quad hip flexor stretch. One of my favorites of all time. Okay. Go into that half kneeling position. Okay. The big thing with this, I'm half kneeling. I'm going to squeeze my glute. I'm going to keep my chest up and open. And then I'm going to drive my hips forward. Like I have headlights on my hips. They got to point straight ahead as I drive to the front of the room. Should feel a stretch right here in this hip pocket and then down in my quad, all the way down the front of my leg. Relax back. Deep breath. Now, if you want to add a little extra, squeeze that glute. Again, upright with that chest as you drive that hip forward. You can reach the same arm as the leg that's down. So in my case, right and right. And then lift up and over the top. Now you're lengthening yourself from the palm of your hand all the way down. Come back to center, relax back. One more of those. Squeeze that glute, drive forward. Reach up to the sky if you want, over the top. This stretch is yours. Okay, this is your stretch. So if you feel better here, that's great. If you want to do that palm up to the sky and over the top, that's great. Just make sure whatever stretch you're doing, you're getting the most out of it. Go ahead and switch to the other leg. Okay, first thing, set up, squeeze that glute, big chest, open up, press to the front of the room. Deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Relax back. Now again, if you want, press that arm up towards the sky, palm up towards the sky. I'm holding up the sky, and then I'm getting that lean over the top. Come back to center, relax back. Good, one more, drive forward, press up, over the top. And relax back. Nice work. All right, last one as part of our warm-up. Let's go ahead and go into a reach and roll, which I don't have a foam roller. So if you don't, that's fine either, okay? I'm gonna sit back on my heels. Same premise as if we were doing a reach and roll with a foam roller. I'm gonna put my palms up on my floor. I'm gonna slide my hands forward as far as I can, sitting on my heels still. I'm going to reach those hands out as far as I can. I'm going to drop my head the rest of the way down to the mat. Deep breaths here. Relax down into that. And then just walk those hands back to where you're in a seated position on your heels. And you're kind of in this, I guess you could call it like the Sphinx pose. Okay, here we go. Slide those arms back out. We're just going to do 3 here also. Walk those hands out as far as you can. Drop your head, your forehead to the mat. Deep breath in, let it out. Really relax down into that stretch. You can do a little wiggle at the bottom. Go ahead and walk it back. Got one more here. Take your time with this. This is one of my favorites also. All the stretches are my favorite. Here we go. Walk it out. Really reach out. Make this your best one. It's the last stretch we have. Deep breath in. Let it out. Really stretch here. Nice deep breath. And relax it back. Let's go ahead and come up to our feet. Okay, now to get into kind of the meat and potatoes, we're going to do a little neural activation. So we're going to come up on our toes. When I say go, we're going to drop from 2 to 1 foot. Okay, does not matter which one you go to first. You're going to try to find your stability. You're going to tap your foot if you need to. Okay, remember your hip is a ball and socket joint, so it needs to be stable. So that's why we're working this single leg stability. If your knee shakes, you need to stabilize with your glute for your hip a little bit. Here we go, all the way up. And go, drop onto 1 foot. Find that balance. See how my legs shook just for a second, and then I lock that glute in and find my balance. Here we go, all the way up. Switch to the other side and go. Woo, much better. Good job, coach. Here we go, all the way up. Go. Just one more after this. Find that balance. Here we go. Switch sides all the way up. And go. Find that balance. And relax. Nice work. Now, as we get started, remember this is a one-way camera. Make sure you have a little space around you to get these movements in. You don't need a ton of space. You just need your body, maybe some water, and be able to listen and follow, and we'll get some good movements in. But make sure you have a safe space around you, that you're not going to break something or something's going to break you. And if you start feeling a little weird, dizzy, anything like that, please take a quick break, reset, and reassess, and jump back in when you're ready, okay? Public service announcement by Coach Clint. Here we go. We're going to start with lateral lunge to drop lunge, okay? The whole thing with lateral lunge. I'm going to step out to the side. I'm going to make sure that I'm decelerating myself as I come down. Toe, knee, hip, all in line as I come forward. Now I'm going to press off of that leg. I'm going to sweep that same leg around and drop that knee down towards the ground. Notice my knee is past my heel here. I'm still upright in the chest. Step back up, out into that lateral lunge. Decelerate yourself down, slow on the way down, drive up, sweep that leg around and behind your foot. Almost tap your knee to the ground, come back up. Got two more on this side. Decelerate down, press up, sweep it around, and come down. Remember, just like our favorite superhero, you have a logo on your chest. Do not hide that logo being crunched up here. Try to be as upright as you can. Use those arms if you need to balance yourself, to counteract that want to lean forward. And then same here, nice and upright through the chest. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Okay, now one side might feel a little weird. Okay, make sure that toe's pointed forward. Drive up, sweep that leg around, come in and behind. Good. 3 more here. Press down. Remember, it's all about deceleration, injury prevention right here. Okay, learning how to move in a direction that's not necessarily normal all the time. We don't normally take a giant step to the side, but if you step on a Lego, I've never done that. I don't have kids that leave Legos out. If you step on a Lego, you have to adjust, shift your weight, fall onto the other leg. It's nice to know how to balance. Here, one more time. Out to the side, okay? Nice to be able to do something without hurting yourself. So that's what this is all about, kind of that injury prevention, get you up and moving stuff. Okay, let's go ahead, go hand walk to dive bomber. Now, if you've never done a dive bomber, just a fancy way of going from a hand walk all the way down into a cobra or upward dog. So I'm going to slide my hands down my legs, hand walk out to a down dog position. Say, I'm still nice and high with my hips, shoulders active here, head dropped in between. Now here comes the dive bomber part. I'm going to drop my arms. I'm going to try slide my forehead on the mat as best I can and arch that back at the bottom. Woo. Drive those hips back up from here. Hips go up. Use that core to drive those hips up, and then walk those hands back and up. Beautiful. One more here. Slide down, because this is a high value movement. This is one you're going to put in your bank of movements. This is the cryptocurrency of movements here. Lock in. Good. Drop down, slide through, and pop up. Deep breath. Drive those hips up to the sky again. Walk those hands all the way back to your feet. Roll up nice and slow. Reason we roll up slow there is I don't want anybody passing out coming out of a hand walk. It has happened before, so just be careful. Okay, let's go back down to that glute bridge position. Okay, we warmed up with some single leg glute bridge. So we're going to finish things out with an extended glute bridge and then a glute bridge drop. Okay, so here we go. Extended glute bridge, normal position, heels at my butt. Extended position, I'm out to where my legs are not straight, but I have a slight bend in my knees. Heels dug into the floor, toes pointed high. Use my elbows as balance. I'm going to squeeze my glute, drive my hips up towards the sky. Okay, I want you to pretend like somebody has strings tied to your hips. They're yanking you to the sky like a marionette doll, okay? If you don't know what that is, it's a puppet, right? And I probably pronounced it wrong. Hold, 3, 2, 1, let it down. Tap that floor, drive right back up and hold. You got 3 iso holds here. 3, 2, 1, let it down nice and slow. Tap that floor, drive right back up and hold. Good job. Those glutes should be on fire a little bit. Hamstrings maybe a little bit. Squeeze that core. Don't be lazy. Hips high. Down, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Bring the glute bridge nice and tight to your butt now. So heels right to your butt or as close as you can. Okay, I'm going to drive up on 2. Squeeze those glutes just like we did, nice and high. Now I'm going to take one leg off. Doesn't matter which one you start with. We have 3 leg drops. I'm going to straighten my leg, keep my hips high. I'm going to lower that leg to tap my heel to the floor. Tap my heel, bring it up. 1, you have 2 more. Bring it down nice and slow. 3, 2, 1, tap and come up. Keep that glute high. Here we go. Down, 3, 2, 1, tap and come up. Good. Switch legs. Set it down, bring the other up. Good, bring it down. 3, 2, 1. Remember those hips, keep them high, keep that core tight. Good, down. 3, 2, 1. Tap that floor, bring it up. Good, down. 3, 2, 1. Tap, bring it up one last time. Replace into that 2-leg glute bridge. Hold for just a second, maintain position. Let it down, nice and slow, and relaxed. Good job. All right, let's turn to our side. We're gonna finish things out here in this round with a 90-90. I'm gonna curl up in a little ball, okay? 90 at the hip, 90 at the knee. I wanna make sure that I'm nice and tight here. Let my knees stack together. So if I put them up against the wall, they're stacked against the wall, okay? I'm gonna go palm up with my bottom hand. I'm going to rotate, take that arm straight up towards the sky and then straight to the back of the room. Now notice, I'm trying to keep this hip pointed straight to the sky, trying to keep these knees nice and vertically stacked so they make a straight line down to the ground, okay? As far as I can go without that breaking, without these knees sliding apart or coming apart. That's it, okay? My hand is about a foot and a half off the ground. Okay, but that's all I got. That's the range of motion I have right now. Come back, close it down. Just doing 2 little 90-90s on each side. Open up as far as you can. Maybe a little further this time. Take a deep breath. Notice I'm watching where my hand is going. I'm going behind and following my eyes with that arm. Deep breath in through your nose. Let it out. Feel that relax through your shoulder. Good. Close it down. Switch to the other side. Flop it over. If you can break dance to the other side. Tuck up. Okay, again, stack those knees like you're up against the wall. Hip pointing straight to the sky. Arm palm up on the bottom. You're going to make yourself as big as possible as you open up and go around. If you're stacked properly, you most likely, unless you're super mobile in your T-spine and shoulder, you probably are not going to be able to touch behind you. That's okay. Just go as far as you can. Some of you might be here. That's fine. We're working on getting better each time. I was not always this far. Close down. And I used to go further, but it was not proper. Okay, and then I had one of our mentors go ahead and open up, adjust me while I did these. And I was like, oh, wow. So remember, keep those knees stacked. Keep that hip trying to point to the sky like you're against a wall on both spots. And then you're just trying to rotate through your T-spine, your upper back and shoulder to reach over as far as you can. Now I open up a little further on this side. This is my better side of things, believe it or not. And close down nice and easy. All right, grab a quick drink of water. We're going back to the top of this block. We're going to finish this out one more time and then finish our day with a nice little core coaches challenge stuff with our quote of the day and joke. Okay. reset for a second, get a quick drink. I'll get a quick drink so my voice doesn't crack like a 13-year-old boy, which does happen sometimes. It happened in my 7 a.m. class this morning. Luckily, I don't think anybody caught it because nobody made fun of me, so that's nice. Okay, here we go. Get yourself set. Nice deep breath, starting with lateral lunges. I'm going to go to my left to start. No reason other than I like to mix it up than the first round. Okay, and we're doing 2 so I can do 1 on each side where I start. No real scientific reason other than I just like to. Okay, I guess that's enough reason. Here we go. Step out. Get that good lateral lunge. You guys know the cues now. Swing it in behind. We're going to speed it up a little bit for this round, but we're not going super metabolic. Like, I'm not trying to fly through these. I'm still moving with quality. Remember, it's still only 5 reps each side. Okay, it's still low volume, but we're going for quality. So I want you to take your time, set up good chest, toe, knee, hip, press off that leg, sweep it in behind. Make sure you're getting that good stretch in this glute. Got 2 more. Use those arms as counter if you need to. Make sure that your base foot, in this case, my right leg, make sure my toe is pointed forward. Okay, I'm not cheating by turning my toe out. Okay, different part of a work right there. Want to make sure that toe is pointed forward. Okay, a lot of us want to cheat that toe. Okay, switching sides. Deep breath and go. Now my hips are still a little sore from Tuesday's workouts. Okay, so this right hip is sore. So if I feel like I want to cheat and shoot my hip out to make sure that it doesn't hurt, okay, instead of doing that and putting my knee in a compromised position, I'm going to stay inside. I'm still going to go toe, knee, hip at a little bit of an angle. I'm just not going to go quite as deep. Okay, same with you. You can't get deep without cheating somehow, like knee being way outside of your foot, hip being way outside of your knee, or dropping your chest, rounding your back. Just don't go quite as low. I'd rather have really good form, really good pattern here, very beautiful pattern that we eventually get better and better at than trying to get super low and making it a bad habit, right? Not bad habits. We want good habits. Here we go. Last one. Stepping out to tie it all in with our tip of the day. Swing it around back. And beautiful. All right, let's go hand walk dive bombers. Now, if dive bomber was too much, okay, if it felt weird, if it was too much for your shoulders today, slide down, go into that same down dog. Okay, find your down dog first, okay? Breathe here. Okay, if dive bomber where we bent and tried to slide our head was too much, come into a plank, drop 2, hips down, drive those hips up, and come back into that down dog position. Okay, that's how you can adjust. Okay, you're still doing a lot of those hip movements. You're just not having to flow through it because sometimes it can be too much. Okay, if you can, drop down, go into that dive bomber like you're trying to sneak under a hurdle. Hips here. And drive up. Let's do 1 more for round 2. Let's go 3 this round. Stretch out here. Go ahead and slide down and up. Good. Hips high. Walk those hands all the way back and roll up nice and slow. Good. Okay, for round 2, we don't have to do that extended bridge iso hold because now our glutes are definitely on fire. So we're going to go straight in that single leg drop. The only difference is this time we're going to do 2 straight drops, 2 outside drops. Okay, so I'm going to bridge up just like before. I'm going to take my leg straight up just like before. So now I'm in right leg up. Okay, first one, I'm going to lower straight down. 3, 2, 1, tap that floor, bring it up just like before. Now I'm going to take my foot towards you. So just go as far as you can without tipping this hip out. 3, 2, 1, and bring it back. There you go. There's 1 and 1. Down. 3, 2, 1. Tap and come up. Good. Out. 3, 2, 1, and bring it back. Switch legs. Easy as pie. Here we go. Leg up. Lower it down. 3, 2, 1. Tap and bring it up. Good. Out. 3, 2, 1. Bring it back. Good. Down. 3, 2, 1. Tap and bring it up. Out. 3, 2, 1. Bring it back up. Replace. Hold in that top of the glute bridge for a second. Relax it down. Nice and easy. Who said recovery couldn't make you sweat? Good. 90-90 position. Just one 90-90 each side, and then we'll get you into your core and quote. Here we go. Post up just like before. Okay, stack those knees. Stack those feet. Hips pointed towards the sky. This time, round 2, just switching it up. Make an L with your top hand. Okay, an L with your top hand. Slide your pointer and thumb on the ground and rotate around as far as you can, sliding that finger on the ground without separating those knees. That's as far as I can go without separating my knees, okay? It's okay, just go as far as you can. I'm following that hand with my eyes. Okay, this one gets through that shoulder a little more, still into that T-spine. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side. That's the most I can break dance right there. Tuck up, pointer and thumb on the ground, slide up and around. Watch where that arm is going with your eyes, all the way around. Now this side, I can go a little further. I feel that stretch in my pec. This is really good for if we've been stuck at a desk all day. Good, bring it on back all the way forward. And relax. Nice work. Okay. Finishing things up with one round of toe touch in down dog, plank rotation with hip taps. Okay, we're gonna go 5 down dog toe touches on each side. Then we're gonna finish things out with a plank rotation, hip tap 3 on each side. Okay, so I'll run you through those. Down dog position first. So drive up into that down dog. Find your good position, okay? And I'll get ready to read your quote and stuff. Toe touches, I'm just gonna reach for my toes, tap my toe, opposite arm, opposite toe, 5 on each side. Drive back with those arms. You're stretching single arm and single shoulder to drive that hand back and touch your toe. Okay, 5 on each side here. And then while we do our plank rotations, I'll read you guys the quote for today. Reach back, tap those toes. Got 1 more on each side, 5 on each side. Whoo, come into that plank position. Okay, now if you need to reset, take a break, that's okay. Widen your feet out about shoulder width. I'm gonna turn towards you as I plank rotate. Okay, now I'm in a side plank. I hip dip, tap my hip to the ground, drive back up, come back into the plank, switch to the other side, hip dip, tap my hip, drive back up, come to plank, okay? You guys keep doing that, and I'm gonna read the quote as I do that. Here we go. Come to the side, hip dip. Change is not pleasant, but change is constant. Only when we change and grow, we'll see a world we never know. Okay, I thought that was just a great quote. Keep going, 1 more on each side. Just a great quote for everything, right? Change is inevitable. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be uncomfortable at some point, but that's okay. Roll with the changes, literally. Okay, go ahead, push back into down dog. Roll with those changes, make the most out of it, find the good in everything. Go ahead and relax down into a quad position. You guys know you can do it. You've done it so much in your life already. Just make it something good. Okay, use that change as something to drive you forward. find that next step, okay? Keep your eyes forward, keep driving forward. We talked about this before. You just have to tell yourself, it's one more step, okay? It's one more step. It's just over that hill. It's just to that road sign down the road if you're running, right? It's just pushing yourself for that one extra step. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. Before I forget, I want to leave you with your joke for today. Why doesn't a lobster share with his friends? Because he's shellfish. Oh, so good. I love dad jokes. Share that with one person today. One person. Tell them where you heard it. Bring them to the next class. Teach them about good movements just like you have, okay? Thanks, guys. I appreciate you every day. If you need anything, please reach out. We'll do some a coach consult if we need to. I'd love to hear from you guys. Have a great rest of your day. As always, I look forward to seeing you in our next class. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Thanks, Doris. You guys are all awesome.